How y'all doing? Hey, great week. Well, so-so week. Good week. Good, better week coming up, I hope. It's all happening. What we've said is going to happen. OSHA, VOSHA has upped their game, and they are out and doing those inspections. We have a drastic increase for some reason on job site complaints. Some of them, good part of them, are not even associated with the job site or the employer. We're seeing a high rise of complaints, and then some are employee driven, but we've got to be better prepared. On the other side of it, OSHA over the last 6 months, VOSHA, has actually identified, and we're seeing track records, and I want to give you an idea of what your construction safety and compliance risk is out there right now, and what your risk is to a inspection or forthcoming inspection. Top compliance risks right now in the field, and we've put a handout together. You can just click on it right down there, click on it and print it out. You can share it with folks. Share this vid. I'm going to try to help you along the way. I'm missing Ben. He's not here today. Ben's out in the field because of this compliance piece. This week alone, we had 6 reports. Ben responded to 4 of them. And again, he's out in the field today. So top compliance risks right now since October 1st to today. Looks like it's falls. It's struck by hazards inside of work zones or inside of job sites. It's caught in between hazards, trenching, collapse, that type of stuff. Backups. And then electrocution is a core fatal risk that's going on out there. Whether you're digging and strike, you're in the air with a boom and strike, or you're a utility guy, electrician, and have a incident. So I just want to dive a little deeper. I said falls from heights. Falls from heights, it's a leading fatal hazard in construction right now, and we've got to pay close attention, particularly on that compliance-driven side, to guardrails. Floor openings have to be covered and clearly marked. Ladders, the use of ladders, 3 points of contact on a ladder. Scaffolds have to be checked every day, inspected every day, and then working in and around roof edges, and making sure to inspect your personal fall arrest systems, and having a particular plan for that fall system that you're using, and everybody on site that is affected by it is actually aware of the job site specific fall plan. Struck by hazards, I said moving equipment, backing vehicles, swinging loads around, working under loads. You can't do that. Falling materials. Again, make sure we're using our high visibility PPE so the operator and everybody knows where we are, when we are, and a clear line of communication between the operators and those ground crews and those hole crews. I mentioned electrocution risks again as I talk about struck by hazards. That kind of segues straight in there. We're running temporary power. We have overhead lines, underground utilities. Beware of all of those. Be properly marked and have them identified before we start work. You guys in the building trades using damaged cords or missing the GFCI protection, and you guys in the energized work areas, take just an extra second, just an extra minute, give it a little extra attention, and before work begins, confirm that power's shut down, we're locked out, tagged out. Inspect your cords, check your panels, make sure they're identified, and make sure the crews around us understand the limits of what we're doing and where we're doing it. Caught in between, we've been lucky enough to not really have any big problem with caught in between excavation hazards thus far, but trenching is one of those red flags. If we have an open hole, we should have done a trench or dig log at the start of the day. And then watch your rotating equipment. Be aware of pinch points within that. And when you're working near moving machinery, always have that PPE on. And remember, that's a severe injury event and it can happen fast. Confirm that your trench boxes are in place, guarding is in place, and we have safe access and egress at all times. Also, just schedule demands right now and schedule pressure right now. Busy schedules, newer workers. We have a new, luckily, we have a large group of new workers out there, and production pressure can weaken our hazard recognition and awareness of what everybody is doing. So take a moment, have some task planning, make sure we've got clear supervision and workers assigned to tasks. Make sure they're ready before they're put out there. The big watch list that we're seeing, and again, you can download this right there, right down below. You can pass this video on to anybody you want. Just, hit that forward button, send it on. But the big compliance watch list for the last couple months have been silica exposure. Make sure you know what table 1 is or have table 1 readily available. Anytime you're concrete cutting, doing masonry, demolition, drilling, sweeping, stone-related work, we should have that table 1 in place and we should be following it. Again, in most cases, it's a 4-hour max without any type of PPE, i.e. respirators, that type of stuff. But we've got to use either wet or HEPA vac in those cases, and the wet has to be machine or blade driven, not just sprayed on the ground. Targeted inspections really are coming up on falls, excavation, cranes, rigging, temporary power, and especially multi-employer sites. They don't see us and they aren't finding that we are communicating properly and with other contractors on our site. So that's turning into a problem right now. Again, good communication on multi-employer sites. And then making sure we're all properly trained with this new group of people, new group of workers coming in. Make sure we're properly trained and that we have training records available and that the people understood what they were being trained. Quick field checklist. Again, heat illness is showing up, but it's not a big driver. The silica controls are fall protection, particularly in and around roofs and on some of the bridge jobs we've got happening. Equipment, PPE, make sure you got what you need, do your daily inspections, and don't be afraid of using spotters out there and high visibility clothing. And then back at the office, let's get our records and training docs up to snuff so we don't have to chase those around. Out in the field, kind of a last thing, if a control is missing, if it's unclear and not understood by you or by the crew, pause the task and let's correct it before we continue. I had a cool visit this week. Pete Kelly from DEW stopped in, dropped us off some merch, and was talking about our safety checklist. Pete, thanks. We got the merch here. Thanks for the merch. And thanks for bringing up that OSHA, VOSHA safety checklist. If we do have an inspection, and again, this is all right down here, just click on it. You can download it, you can print it, but every job site should have the VOSHA safety checklist, inspection checklist readily available so that if somebody does come, we follow the rules, they follow the rules, everybody knows what's expected and how it's expected to handle this inspection. Clearly identified, make sure they identify themselves and have proof of ID as a OSHA compliance officer. We've had a couple different, folks out there that weren't really OSHA inspectors, come to find out. They were consultants looking for work. So make sure they identify themselves as a inspector or compliance officer. Make sure they identify their area director. And then you have a right to ask, what type of inspection are you doing? And what's the scope of the inspection and the reason for the inspection? Now there's a couple different reasons, but should they say, we got a complaint, you have a right to ask for a copy of that complaint. You have a right to look at it, and literally that complaint will dictate the type of inspection and purely the scope, because in a complaint, we are limited to the area of that complaint unless something else is readily visible. But again, you've got to ask for the reason for the inspection, or it's just a full-blown, here, let's walk through and see whatever we want. Try to limit our exposure out there. Identify any other companies out there and make any notes necessary during that inspection. I've also included on the back side of that a whole checklist repeating all of this that will help you get through what it is and how it is. It's inspection day protocols. Upon arrival, it reminds you of everything I said, notifying any necessary personnel, how to handle an opening conference, what to do during the walk around, and then requesting a closing conference, of course. So I really think it's important we come up to speed. We are, again, seeing an uptick in their visits, and download the little piece right below us here and get yourselves up to speed. Take a moment, explain to your fellow workers and to the teams that are out there, multi-employer sites, other subs, this is how we're going to handle an inspection, this is what we're going to do, and here is our compliance risk today based on the season. Hope you all have a good week. I'm headed up, actually it's Friday afternoon, I'm taping this, Ben's out on the road, but I'm headed up to that cancer walk up late, they call it Lacing up in Lamoille, at the high school. Headed up there for a big day of walking. Starts at noon and runs till about 9 or so. If any of you are around Lamoille Saturday, well, if you were around, you walked with us. Otherwise, we got friggin' wet all by ourselves. Weather went to hell, and I have no clue what happened there. But I hope you all have a safe week. Again, share this as much as you possibly can, and let's get the word out. We've got to be prepared for this. Hey, you all have a good week. I'll be back at you. Hopefully I'll have Ben there, and hopefully you clicked on that and downloaded it. Thank you all. Have a good week. Hey, thanks, Peter. Bye now.